Hi, this is JP Shuffle. Thanks for listening and watching this introduction to traffic generation principles. So here we are. Let's see what those basic traffic generation principles are. Well, there are two categories for these principles. The first category is not directly related to techniques, but to your attitude. Yeah, your attitude towards traffic generation. The second one is directly related to traffic generation. Understanding individual tactics is useless if you don't get the whole picture of traffic generation. You have some principles, and then you have the techniques. Most people teach you the techniques, but most of the time you fail at applying them because you have not mastered the underlying principles. So, here are some of the most important ones. Traffic generation is no mystery, no secret. It's mostly common sense and analytical process, meaning it can be fairly replicated with consistent results. Well, you will understand what I mean when I discuss traffic generation principles in the next slide. Then, most people fail at driving traffic simply because they don't even try. And when I say try, it's not a set and forget trial. It's a real commitment to include a technique into a broader plan and see how it brings more effectiveness to your efforts. You see, a plan is simply a set of techniques that you implement and organize in order to achieve a goal. It's your blueprint for driving traffic. And this is an evolving and dynamic blueprint, meaning you will tweak it and improve it depending on your learning and testing curves. This is something you should develop step by step. At first, only with some simple techniques, say social bookmarking and article marketing, with the goal of consistently driving 100 unique visitors a week to any site. Then you're going to split each technique into different steps. For example, write an article, make 3 versions of this same article, submit one version to eZine Articles, post an abstract of the other on a blog, and another version on my main site. Bookmark the blog post, the eZine article page, and the main article page on my site with Digg, StumbleUpon, and Techorati. You see, this is a detailed process that allows you to run your plan. Of course, you can add as many steps as you want. Now, drawing up a plan means you should be able to follow it consistently. You can't blame anyone or any of the techniques if you don't follow your plan and if you don't put effort into it consistently. This is fundamental. Finally, to improve your plan, you can't just set it and then come back 3 days later and check on your stats. You've got to track each source of traffic to see which one worked, which one didn't work, and do a little bit of tweaking. Testing and tracking is essential. Now, once you have some results, go all the way back to step number 1 to improve your plan and your blueprint. Add steps, processes. Once it works well, you can simply just raise your objectives. Say, for example, drive 100 visitors a day. You'd probably need to add new techniques to your plan, right? But this is how you are going to get consistent results. Don't be afraid when you don't get the same results replicating your plan with another site. There are things you don't control in your traffic generation principles, but there's something that never changes. Can you guess what that is? Visitors. Your traffic generation efforts start at the time of site conception and site building. Why? Well, simply because you should conceive your site so that it covers the needs and expectations of your visitors. You should build it so that it matches your visitors' behaviors and their attitudes. How will they react, take action, whatever. Okay, so to do this, you will analyze sources such as forums, blogs, things like that. That will give you this information. Then you simply need to revert to those sources when you want to drive traffic to your site. Having a plan, well, that's your best way to cover all those different behaviors and then adapt it for different situations. This is a pretty big asset because it's effective from the very beginning of your site building efforts. The last principle is also often highly overlooked, but if you need to retain only one principle, this is the one. Listen up. You don't create traffic. You simply redirect traffic. That's right. This means that your market is already existing, and you simply need to take a share of this market by going where your visitors are and by finding ways to make them visit your site.